Hello everyone, what's going on? Today, we delve into a captivating tale of a wife who sought the thrill of an open relationship, only to find herself grappling with deep regret. Greetings, everyone. I never imagined I would find myself at this crossroads, seeking the wisdom of strangers on the vast expanse of the internet. Yet here we stand. My wife and I have shared a journey for a decade, with 8 of those years bound by marriage. Our paths crossed in college, where we became each other's first and only love. I truly believed our relationship was something special, a rare and beautiful connection. Yet, it seems that was solely my experience. Not long ago, my wife embarked on a new journey at a different company. Initially, she struggled to find her place, her reserved nature holding her back. However, with my encouragement, she began to forge connections with a group of girls. Some single, some divorced, others dating, but none tied down by marriage. Initially, I felt a surge of joy seeing her forge new friendships. But soon, that happiness began to wane as she began to venture out for drinks, indulge in wild parties, or engage in whatever her friends had concocted for the night. I grew increasingly worried by her shift in demeanor and attempted to engage her in conversation about it. Yet at the same time refused to confine her in any manner. It began to cast a shadow over our intimacy. My wife rarely took the lead when it came to intimacy, and as her nights out became more frequent, it seemed she was either too exhausted or simply not interested. Eventually, a new manager arrived at her company, capturing the admiration of my wife and her friends. She started to bring him up casually, but soon it escalated to her highlighting the way he dealt with issues that appeared to have nothing to do with work. I probed her about her obsession with this man, and she dismissed my worries with a wave of her hand. She began to probe, questioning whether I regretted my lack of experience with women. I replied with conviction, for she was all I had ever desired. For a fleeting moment, I believed I caught a glimpse of sorrow in her eyes, but just as swiftly, she diverted the conversation. She began to bring up the idea of open marriages, suggesting it could add excitement to our relationship. I was stunned. My wife has never been this type of person, and to be honest, she's not that sexually liberal. Initially, I had resisted, wondering if this was somehow connected to the new manager. She denied it, yet there was an unmistakable sense of loss in her voice. It was as if she longed for something just beyond her reach, but the fear of losing me held her back. In her mind, this was the safer path to tread. I questioned her reckless game with danger, yet, with a mix of hesitation and innocence, I found myself agreeing. We established a few ground rules, the most important being that no one should bring another person into our home for the night. For an entire year, my wife goes out on dates, engages in one-night stands, and then, as if it were all part of some twisted script, she finds herself entangled in a relationship with that manager. In contrast, I experienced a handful of dates, yet never ventured into the realm of one-night stands, because it often seemed deeply unsettling to me. My wife would inquire about my well-being, yet her actions remained unchanged. There came a moment when the love I once held for her, that pristine and sacred essence of our marriage, slipped away, leaving a void that was slowly consuming me from within. I found myself on a date with an incredible woman who had journeyed all the way from South Korea. The words flowed seamlessly between us. Her wit struck like a whip, sharp and electrifying, while her smile had the power to make anyone lose themselves in its warmth. This, inevitably, paved the way for more encounters, culminating in a moment of intimacy. I truly never experienced the passionate encounter I shared with this woman. I had no idea a woman could possess such generosity, igniting a sense of desire within me like never before. Initially, my wife found it endearing, but as time passed, doubts crept in about my connection with my lover. I quickly highlighted that this was her concept, and to add to my unease, she was involved with the very manager I was worried about. Her silence was deafening. Her expression hinted at unspoken words, yet she remained silent. She started arriving home early, eager to catch me off guard with dinner and to make the house feel even more inviting, pristine. She began visiting my workplace to deliver lunch, and soon after, she took the lead in igniting intimacy in the bedroom. Truthfully, if it weren't for her decision to open up our marriage, something I also bear responsibility for agreeing to. This entire situation would have left me elated. I reluctantly succumbed to her advances, and when I finally did, it was merely to bring the moment to a swift conclusion. A part of me withered away when it came to my wife, and I could sense she felt the same void within her. I inquired about the catalyst for this transformation within her. What had changed? The reply I received was, she yearns to reveal the depths of her love for me, to express the joy she finds in our connection. It was never my plan, yet laughter erupted from me uncontrollably. I inquired, what of her close-knit circle, her manager who holds her heart, or those fleeting encounters? She offered no reply that day, retreating to her room, tears streaming down her face. The following day, I returned home to discover her waiting for me. She revealed to me her desire to end our marriage. This entire ordeal has become a dreadful misstep, leaving behind a trail of regret and a desperate yearning for us to reclaim the center stage of our relationship. I instructed her to be candid with me and reveal what sparked all of this from the very beginning. And wouldn't you believe it, it was her circle of friends who sowed the seed of that idea, fueled by their countless escapades. When her manager arrived, he unexpectedly embraced that way of life, urging my wife to embrace her freedom. It seems that what began as an emotional connection escalated, but the physical aspect only emerged once the marriage was compromised. Incredible. That truly enhances it. She likened it to being intoxicated while hurtling down the road in a racing car. It was electrifying, captivating, yet the weight of her choice has grown unbearable. She realizes now that comparison was unnecessary, that what we shared was genuinely unique and special. Yet, a heavy weight settles in her heart as she grapples with the haunting thought that she has destroyed our marriage and any hope for a future together. I confessed to her that I might never view her as my wife again, and the weight of my words shattered her, leaving her vulnerable before me. I cradled her in silence, her tears soaking into my shirt, until exhaustion claimed her and she drifted off to sleep in my embrace on the couch. She has since abandoned her job and severed ties. She reached out to every friend, her manager, and even confessed to me her unwavering commitment to spend her life making amends. She vowed to toil endlessly, determined to earn my recognition of her as a true wife. Yet, I remain in touch with my lover. My lover ignites a fire within me, empowering me to take on the world, a feeling my wife hasn't inspired in some time. The reality is, I'm at a loss for what to do in this predicament. I yearn to reclaim that extraordinary feeling, if it's within reach, for my lover was my savior during my darkest moments. My darkest moment. I need your assistance. We have our first marriage counseling session in just a couple of hours. Uncertain of how that will unfold, the therapist exuded warmth and a wealth of experience. She seemed impartial, her enthusiasm to assist palpable. Despite being our inaugural session, my wife seized the moment to unveil everything, it appears. She revealed that this circle of friends ignited a haunting doubt within her. Had she let her opportunity slip away? Bound to her first boyfriend, she had never ventured beyond that singular experience, leaving her to question if she had truly lived the same. The thrilling escapades of these remarkable women unfold. Keep in mind, some of them have gone through divorce, yet none are tied in marriage. The therapist highlighted that this can, and frequently does, wreak havoc on a marriage because of the contrasting mindsets involved. My wife appeared to be on board, but then she revealed that after the new manager began to show interest in her, some of our friends urged her to explore the possibilities. This was her opportunity to delve deep and uncover the essence of who she truly was. She clearly bore the weight of guilt, or so she claimed. She had never engaged in anything physical until one of the divorcees proposed an open marriage as a potential escape, claiming that some couples emerge stronger from such arrangements. So, after what she claims was a regrettable decision, she persuaded me to open up the marriage, and thus her so-called adventure commenced. It was a heady rush, dazzling yet hollow, devoid of the depth we had forged through the years. Doubts began to creep in, and she found herself questioning the very reasons that had led her here. She claimed to see the pain reflected in my eyes, yet convinced herself that this was merely an adventure. She promised she would. She would never forgive herself for this lost opportunity, a chance at an extraordinary experience. The weight of it all eluded her until she finally recognized the shift within me. Initially, she believed that my forays into dating would lead me to come to terms with her circumstances, that I would eventually find a way to be at peace with it all. But everything shifted when my lover became an ever-present figure in my journey. It seemed that a smile had crept back onto my face, unbidden, and my eyes sparkled with a newfound brightness every time a text message chimed in. I would leave the room with a buoyant step, eager to respond. Summon. She felt a sudden knot in her stomach, an unsettling wave of dread washing over her, triggering a cascade of panic attacks that seemed to strike without warning. Once more, she sought the counsel of her friends, only to be met with the same response. Her feelings were merely a natural part of the journey. Yet, it was at that moment, when the same divorced friend who had initially proposed the idea remarked, "It seems his lover brings him happiness," that the harsh truth struck her. The chilling realization that another woman, not his wife, could be the source of his joy nearly sent her reeling. She moved through the shadows, a whisper of mystery trailing behind her. Every step was deliberate, every glance calculated, as if the world around her held secrets waiting to be uncovered. The air crackled with tension, and her presence commanded attention, leaving an indelible mark on those who dared to look her way. She came to a startling realization of the absurdity of it all and pleaded with them to assist her in winning me back. Yet, they confronted her with a question that pierced through her defenses. If she couldn't handle the turmoil, why had she chosen to open her marriage in the first place? In that moment, she realized the undeniable truth. These individuals were a poison, a looming danger to both our marriage and the life we had painstakingly constructed. Thus, she has embarked on a relentless quest to reclaim my heart, employing every tactic at her disposal. I, however, kept my cards close to my chest. Yet, I did reveal to the counselor the complexities of my situation, with my lover still lingering in the shadows. The counselor declared that no resolution could ever be achieved with my lover still looming in the background and proposed we schedule another appointment for after tomorrow. The counselor remarked on the rarity of someone remaining with her for such an extended period, suggesting that any tempest could be endured. I have a strong feeling she intends for us to become one of her triumphs. I apologize for the length, but I thought it best to provide a comprehensive update. Second update. I'm still trying to crack the code on linking posts. My heartfelt gratitude goes out to each and every one of you who has extended a hand. I regret that I can't respond to each and every one of you, whether in the inbox or on the post. Here's the latest update. Once more, I extend my heartfelt gratitude for your unwavering support. It has truly unfolded like a scene straight out of a Jerry Springer episode. I have since taken up residence in an apartment owned by my brother, and the price is astonishingly low. He possesses a portfolio of properties and would have offered me a place to stay at no cost. Yet I turned down the opportunity. I've uncovered some troubling insights into my wife's behaviors, along with unsettling revelations about her manager. In the midst of during my second counseling session, I posed several questions inspired by the insights shared by Redditors. 1. If she was certain that nothing physical transpired before the marriage began. Her gaze fell to the ground, and she pleaded with me, desperation lacing her voice, not to force her to utter the words. She warned that revealing the truth could shatter us. Yet after some coaxing, she confessed it wasn't a physical encounter. Instead, they had exposed themselves to one another. This jerk managed to persuade her that because it wasn't physical in nature, it didn't count as cheating, and that they were merely reveling in the splendor of one another. I was completely taken aback as she began to tremble and gasp for breath. Streams of snot cascaded from her nostrils as she wept and begged for my forgiveness. At that moment, the counselor's expression shifted to one of sheer astonishment. Disbelief etched across their face. My wife sank to her knees, wrapping her arms around my legs, her voice trembling as she poured out her apologies. Next, I inquired about what truly shifted her perspective on him. After she began to distance herself from the group, she noticed a shift in his behavior towards her. One fateful evening as she exited the meeting, She walked by his office and caught snippets of his voice, discussing her with another male colleague. He expressed his astonishment at the ease with which he had won her over, a living testament to the adage that the quiet ones are often the most unpredictable. When the colleague inquired whether he truly had feelings for her, he replied that she was merely a delightful distraction, firmly stating that he had no intention of ending his engagement. He even revealed that this was merely an attempt to purge his emotions, for the only woman who has ever truly understood him was his fiancée, and he was reluctant to end things with her. He expressed his sympathy for my situation, but in the end, it's a classic case of you snooze, you lose. My wife, confronted with the harsh truth that she was merely an object to this man, coupled with the weight of her betrayal for a fleeting thrill, found herself teetering on the edge of despair in that moment. She confessed that she had exited her workplace only to find herself retching in the parking lot. Her initial thoughts echoed in her mind, "What have I done? And my name. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry." 3. I then inquired whether she loved him and when it was that she ceased to love me. With tears streaming down her face, she locked her gaze onto mine and confessed that she had never stopped loving me. The weight of her words hit me harder, revealing that he was merely a fleeting distraction. She once believed it was love, but now the truth stings with the sharp edge of her own naivety. With an unexpected grip, she clutched my arm and confessed her mistakes, her voice laced with longing as she admitted how much she misses us, and the bond we shared before everything changed. She even proposed that we escape and begin anew, just the two of us, just as fate intended. I then explained to her that it wouldn't be just to I need space from my lover to truly process everything that's unfolding. It was as if those words triggered an explosive reaction within her. She broke down, her sobs growing louder as she uttered a torrent of disjointed words. She clung to me, her grip tight and desperate, as if I might vanish into thin air at any moment. It took a while for both the counselor and me to soothe her frayed nerves. The counselor skillfully persuaded her that perhaps a separation could be the key to our healing journey. As we returned home, a sense of urgency washed over me, compelling me to start packing. My wife received a video call on her laptop. It was a singular moment of her former friends, their eyes glistening with tears. After my wife stepped down, I discovered that this friend and the manager had ignited a secret affair of their own. However, it seems she experienced a pregnancy scare, triggering a transformation in him akin to Dr. Jekyll. To complicate things further, she found herself in a relationship with a boyfriend she could envision a future alongside. Her fling was born from a spark of curiosity, a desire to explore the uncharted territory of experience. It's amusing how that appears to be a recurring theme. Her boyfriend uncovered the truth when he stumbled upon an email. In the heated exchange between the two, the topic of a potential pregnancy loomed large, yet the manager leveled a shocking accusation, suggesting she was attempting to trap him with the prospect of a child. Naturally, he walked away from her. She reached out, believing my wife had salvaged our marriage and was in urgent need of guidance. I turned on my heel and walked away, taking refuge in the apartment ever since. Update number 3. The tumultuous whirlwind of my wife's erratic actions and the profound transformation they wrought upon us. Events have unfolded, shaping my path ahead. Initially and first and foremost, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you who reached out, whether it was to share invaluable advice, recount your own experiences, or simply lend a listening ear for my rants. It holds immense significance. A great deal has unfolded. The once close friend, who had faced a terrifying pregnancy scare, found herself truly expecting. Yet, the crushing weight of losing her boyfriend and the sting of betrayal proved too much, leading to a heartbreaking loss. She erupted with fury, unleashing a relentless barrage on the manager. She laid bare his secrets before the entire upper management, his beloved fiancée. While browsing Facebook, I stumbled upon his fiancée. My curiosity piqued. I discovered that she embodies the quintessential image of a charming small-town girl. Her profile reveals a dedicated special needs teacher, a true homebody at heart, deeply rooted in family values. My initial reaction was a surge of disbelief. What on earth is he thinking? Fooling around with other women while she waits for him at home? It's a perplexing enigma of existence. How men like him find themselves with women like her. My former friend reached out to me. She sought my perspective on the unfolding events. She was gathering evidence against him, but she craved the confrontation that could only happen face to face. Both of us had already undergone our COVID tests, and so I acquiesced. As soon as her face came into view, I sensed the cracks beneath her surface. The shadows beneath her eyes and the crimson hue of her irises revealed a sleepless night, a mind tormented by its own relentless demons. She expressed her gratitude for my willingness to meet and swiftly offered an apology for her involvement in my wife's escapade. It turns out that she and my wife spoke again, and that's when the truth was revealed. I had left my old life behind. She refused to shift the blame, determined to take responsibility for her actions, which is precisely why she insisted on meeting in person. I expressed my gratitude for her dedication, yet I couldn't help but question what had driven her to such lengths. She revealed that the loss of both a child and the love of her life transformed her very essence. She confessed that every time she glances in the mirror, a wave of disgust washes over her, and sleep eludes her, haunted by the image of her ex's face on that fateful day he discovered the truth. This woman was consumed by self-loathing, and the meeting seemed to serve as a twisted manifestation of that inner turmoil. Consequences awaited her. She informs me that the act of patronizing among colleagues constitutes a serious violation of conduct. Given his influential position, it's highly probable that he will face termination and may even find himself blacklisted from the entire industry. Yet, the same could be said for her, and she embraced that truth. After hearing my side of the story, she turned to leave, offering one last apology. I had to retrieve some items from the old place. I chose a moment when I believed my wife would be away. Regrettably, she was present. However, what caught me off guard was the sight of her, lost in thought, with a collection of our wedding photos spread across the coffee table, her gaze fixed intently on them. As her gaze fell upon me, I caught sight of the tears streaming down her cheeks. As she leaned in for a hug, I instinctively stepped back, creating a distance between us. She insisted on treating me to lunch, but I declined, claiming I wasn't hungry. I assured her I wouldn't take long, just needed to grab a few essentials. Just as I was about to move forward, she paused and revealed that she had something to unveil to me. She retrieved her phone and revealed a message she had received 2 days prior from her former, the manager who unleashed a torrent of criticism upon her. A message arrived from an unfamiliar number, a consequence of her decision to block his previous line of communication. It seems my wife played a crucial role in revealing the truth to everyone involved, and his rage was palpable. She revealed that the inspiration struck her from Chump Lady and Marriage Builders. In her mind, revealing the secret would strip it of its power, offering us a glimmer of hope in our battle. I expressed my admiration for her bravery in taking that step, yet I knew deep down that it wouldn't alter the dynamics of our relationship. I also let her know that I will be ending marriage counseling, but will opt for individual counseling instead. She wept quietly, her voice trembling as she whispered her understanding. I'm aware that I should be swept away by joy for the decisions made or consumed by anger over the delay. Yet all I feel is an unsettling numbness towards her. This situation is far from ordinary, which is precisely why I feel the need to tackle it through individual counseling rather than marriage counseling. On my brother's advice, I sought the counsel of a divorce lawyer, just to ensure I was prepared for anything. At this moment, I find myself unwilling to battle for this marriage, and it appears my wife can feel the shift in my resolve. Just before my departure, she made an attempt to. She sought to ignite a spark of intimacy, but when I pushed back, her voice erupted in fury. What does my lover provide that I cannot? What does she offer that I, your wife, cannot? Her words rang out, piercing the air so loudly that I was certain the neighbors were listening. With a fierce determination, she declared that whatever it was I desired, she would deliver. I shook my head, the weight of my words heavy in the air. If you still can't see it after everything that's unfolded, then it's painfully obvious where our marriage is headed. With that, I turned and walked away. Wow, OP. It seems your wife is finally beginning to face the repercussions of her choices. The heartbreaking reality is that she would. I would give anything to turn back time and avoid the same mistakes, yet reality doesn't bend to our wishes. Perhaps she could invest the time to understand herself and evolve into a more suitable partner, but it's unlikely to happen with you, as she has already set this life ablaze. One certainty remains. She will forever hold your memory close, haunted by the weight of her choices. That surpasses what most of us received.